Religion, because it's powerful, it's also very dangerous. Without real scholarship, our religion is in danger of being taken over by mad people. And I want to read quickly an example of this from Imam Tabari. It's in his famous book, At-Tarikh. And he talks about the Khawarij when they took over a village. And I want to emphasize that the Khawarij were people that had prayer marks on their heads. Most of them memorized the Quran. They prayed all night. They fasted during the daytime. The Prophet ﷺ said, when you see them, you'll belittle your own prayer in front of their prayer. You'll belittle your own fasting when you see how much they fast. They were so charismatic that many, many thousands of people joined their groups. And when they took over the areas that they took over, what did they do? Bloodshed, killing people that disagreed with them. I want to just read this section. He mentions that when the Khawarij came to a village, and this was a village in Iraq, they took an old man and her daughter, who were Muslims that weren't following their version of Islam. And the woman, the young girl, started crying, and she said, don't kill my father, he's an old man. Inna abi musab fala taqtuluhu. Don't kill my father, he's an old man. And then she said, wa amma ana fa innama ana jariya. I'm just a young girl. Wallahi ma ataytu fahishatan qat wala adaytu jara li. I never harmed anybody. I never did any sinful thing. And then they said, فَقَدَّمُوهَا لِيَقْتُلُوهَا. They brought her in front of them to kill her. And when she did that, she shouted, أَخَذَتْ تُنَادِي مَا ذَنْبِي مَا ذَنْبِي. What's my sin? What's my sin? And then they killed her and cut her up, and then they killed her father. Our history is filled with mad people in the name of religion who go about killing other people. This is going on in the masajid of Afghanistan, in the masajid of Pakistan, in the masajid of Iraq. We even find this type of mentality in our own country here in the United States. And if we're not careful, when we see these people, like this young man in New York, really, who plans on blowing up Times Square with innocent people walking around, and then on the stand he says that he's proud of it and he would do it again. This is the type of problem that we're dealing with in certain segments of our community. If we remain in denial about this, if we don't address the need for sound scholarship, for moderation in our religion, for the truthful teaching of Islam. And I know all of you are part of this, but we have to institutionalize these things. We have to bring this to the forefront of our concern, because our religion is a beautiful religion, and it's being made ugly by the acts of fools, by the acts of the sufaha. I just want to bring your attention to something that when I found this out, I was so flabbergasted. My own teacher, Sheikh Abdullah bin Bayya, had a conference in Mardin. Mardin is a city in Turkey in which Jews, Muslims, Christians all lived together. There was a period of time when the Mongols had a Muslim ruler who was just a titular head, but he was ruling under Mongol rule. Ibn Taimiyyah was asked what he thought about a place where they were not applying the rules of Islam even though they were Muslims, and he wrote a famous fatwa which is called Fatwa Mardin. In this fatwa he said that this dar is murakkaba. It's a compounded dar. It's an abode that's neither abode of Islam nor an abode of war. And so he said something very interesting. According to the published editions that are in Saudi Arabia today, in many, many Muslim countries, according to the published edition, it says, فَالْمُسْلِمُونَ يُعَامَلُونَ بِمَا يَسْتَحِقُّونَ وَالْخَارِجُ عَنَ الشَّرِيعَةِ يُقَاتَلُوا بِمَا يَسْتَحِقُّ. That the believers should be treated according to them being believers, and those who don't apply the Sharia, al-khariju an al-shari'ati, should be fought. يُقَاتَلُوا بِمَا يَسْتَحِقُّ, according to what they deserve. Sheikh Abdullah bin Bayya, when this fatwa was read in Mardin, he said there's something wrong with that fatwa, and people got very upset. Some of the ulama that were in the gathering were upset, and they said, Sheikh, لا تغير فتوى شيخ الإسلام. Don't change the fatwa of Sheikh al-Islam. نناقش الفتوى ولا تغير الفتوى. We can discuss the fatwa, but don't change the fatwa. Sheikh Abdullah said the wording's not right, because he is an ocean of the Arabic language, and he knew that the wording wasn't right based on his knowledge of the Arabic language, on balagha, on the idea of tibaq and muqabala. He knew that it wasn't right. When he got back to Jeddah, and this is a copy of the oldest manuscript of the fatwa. This fatwa, which is in the Zahiriyah in Damascus, is the oldest manuscript of Sheikh al-Islam's fatwa of Mardin, and he does not say yuqatilu bima yastahiqqu. He says yu'amalu bima yastahiqqu. He should be treated in accordance with what he deserves. This fatwa based on yuqatilu was used to kill Anwar Sadat. This very fatwa was used to kill Anwar Sadat, the president of Egypt. Because if you read the text that this is the fatwa that was quoted. This is the fatwa that Osama bin Laden used in justifying the attacks on in the United States. This is the fatwa that they've used for opposing all of the rulers in the Muslim lands because they don't implement the Sharia, and it's all based on a misprint. It's based on a misprint. This is an incredible tragedy in our community, that this is the level of scholarship has fallen to such a level that people are killed based on misprints in books. And this is why we need sound scholarship. People are reading these books and thinking that Islam is a religion of hatred, is a religion of violence, is a religion of bloodshed. All of these things are because of this misunderstanding of a religious tradition that has a vast spectrum of opinion.